The Hardys vs. Right to Censor bumped Raw over 1 million viewers in the second quarter of the night on December 4th in a tag titles match, doing a 4.8 rating, with the Hardys again involved in a quarter, jumping around 1 million viewers a week later in a match against the Radicals, doing a 5.8. Chris Benoit faced the returning Hardcore Holly on December 4th in a match, jumping over 600,000 viewers to a 5.2 rating, with Benoit a day after winning the IC title at the Armageddon pay-per-view defending the belt in a rematch against Billy Gunn to a 5.8, doing a 4.7 rating in a match against Jeff Hardy on December 18th, followed by him closing the year in the Christmas Raw in the tag match against the Hardys, gaining over 600,000 viewers to a 3.5. Billy Gunn defended the IC title against Val Venis during Raw's second hour on December 4th in a match drawing the highest-rated quarter of the night, 5.4 rating, with Gunn working another title match the following week against Benoit, doing a 5.8, followed by him teaming with the Dudleys in a six-man tag against Right to Censor on December 18th to a 4.5. The Dudleys' biggest number of the month came on the full unopposed night on December 11th, teaming with Rock in a six-man tag match against Angle, Edge and Christian to a peak 6.1 rating, bumping Raw over 700,000 viewers, and two more six-man tag matches in the next 2 weeks, first teaming with Gunn against Right to Censor to a 4.5, followed by them teaming with Jericho against Angle, Edge and Christian to a 4 rating. Edge and Christian, in a partnership with Kurt Angle, continued to be two of the most featured performers on WWF television throughout December 2000, overlapping between several major storylines, being involved in perhaps the two highest-profile matches of the month and two tag matches on December 11th and 18th combined, jumping over 1.9 million viewers. First teaming with Angle against Rock and the Dudleys to a 6.1 rating, followed by them defending the tag belts against Rock and Undertaker to a 5.3, with Christian and Edge working two more tag matches to start and close the month, first against Road Dogg and K-Quick, followed by a six-man against Jericho and the Dudleys, drawing 4.6 and 4 ratings. Undertaker opened the first Raw of the month in a match against Rikishi, kicking off Raw with a 4 rating, with Taker coming back out 2 hours later to lay out Vince in the overrun, doing a 5.4, with Taker a day after throwing Rikishi off the top of Hell in a Cell responding in a follow-up promo, doing a 5.8 quarter, having his highest-rated match of the month a week later, with Taker and Rock winning the tag belts against Edge and Christian in a match jumping over 1 million viewers to a quarter-high 5.3 rating, with both headlining the final Raw of 2000 against each other, with Taker vs. Rock closing the Christmas Raw with a 4.3 rating. a day after a career highlight match retaining the title in a six-man Hell in a Cell. Kurt Angle opened the full unopposed draw on December 11 for the follow-up promo in Raw's highest-rated opening segment since July, going over 21 minutes to jump from a 5.2 to 5.8 rating over 2 quarters, setting up the six-man tag match with Angle, Edge and Christian vs. Rock and the Dudleys, doing the peak 6.1 rating in Raw's most-watched match in over 2 months, with Angle a week earlier defending the title against Chris Jericho at the top of Raw's second hour in a match gaining over 900,000 viewers to a 5.3 rating, with Kurt confronting Foley to open Raw on December 18 in a segment setting up the main event of the night with Kurt Angle vs. Vince McMahon for the WWF title, as the Angle vs. McMahon match ending with both turning on Foley, peaking the night with a 5.4 rating. Opening the special Christmas Raw on December 25 in a unique segment bringing out the Angle family, followed by him teaming up with Edge and Christian against Jericho and the Dudleys in a match doing a 4 rating. Steve Austin came out to cement his place in the six-man Hell in a Cell match and lay out McMahon in an overrun segment, picking up to a 5.4 rating, with Austin a day after the pay-per-view again only making his first appearance of the night on December 11 with Raw already in the overrun, interrupting the McMahon-Foley resignation segment at 11:06 p.m. to convince Foley to rip up the contract and stay as commissioner in a segment closing Raw with a 6.1 rating in what ended up the highest-rated show in TNN's 17-year history, working a match against Regal at an unusual time slot midway through the second hour on December 18 to bump Raw over 500,000 viewers to a 5.2. while closing 2000 in a match against Kane placed to close out the Christmas Raw's first hour, picking up over 600,000 viewers to a 4.2 rating. With the build-up to what is targeted to be the biggest WrestleMania in history about to start, Vince McMahon was back on TV full-time on December 4 in a heavily hyped State of WWF Address main event segment recapping the last several months of Mick Foley being in charge to bring out Austin, Rock and Taker for the response in a segment jumping over 700,000 viewers to a show-high 5.4 rating, with the Vince vs. Foley confrontations originally set to lead to a WrestleMania match between them continuing on December 11, again being placed in the main event segment of the record TNN broadcast, with McMahon demanding Foley to resign in a segment doing a joint peak 6.1 overrun, kicking off Raw the following week with Foley booking McMahon to challenge Angle for the title in a promo picking up over 1 million viewers throughout to a 4.7 rating, with the Vince Angle match ending in a swerve with both turning on Foley to lead to Vince firing him to be back in full control heading into 2001 saw the match and post-match segment jumping over 600,000 viewers to a peak 5.4 rating. With the six-man Hell in a Cell 6 days away, Rock cut the final selling promo hyping the match in an all-time memorable performance, running down his 5 opponents in the match in a quarter, jumping over 700,000 viewers to a peak head-to-head 5.2 rating and Raw's highest-rated opposed quarter in a month, with Rock coming out to lay out McMahon to cement his place in the Hell in a Cell past 11 p.m. in the Overrun, doing a show-high 5.4 rating. With Rock a day after the pay-per-view coming out to confront Angle in an opening segment, gaining throughout, jumping over 900,000 viewers to a 5.8 rating already in the second quarter on a full unopposed night targeted to do record numbers, with the broadcast peaking 30 minutes later with The Rock and Dudley's vs. Angle Edge and Christian six-man tables match jumping over 600,000 viewers to the peak of the night 6.1 rating with over 7.7 million viewers, making it the most watched quarter on a Raw broadcast since its debut night on TNN. Following it up in another high-profile tag match in the same quarter at the top of the hour on December 18th, with Rock teaming with Taker to challenge Edge and Christian for the tag belts, with the match picking up over 1.3 million viewers to the peak of the night 5.3 rating, closing a milestone year for any wrestler in history in 2000, in a year that saw him breaking practically every record in business history while simultaneously bringing unprecedented mainstream spotlight on the industry in the main event against Taker on the Christmas Raw on December 25th, with it along with his pre-match Christmas promo gaining over 600,000 viewers to peak the night with a 4.3 rating.